Yeah. So, who are you? Where are you from? What are you doing? Why are you doing yoga?
You asked and you answered that too, like why I'm doing yoga and what I do.
Yeah.
So you had already that answer with you. So my myself is Anu.
Mm-hmm.
I run online yoga classes, and why I do it is a very, I mean, difficult question, a difficult, very very difficult question to answer, because my father used
Mm-hmm.
to practice it.
Mm-hmm.
Even today, he practices it. For a good 40 years of my life, I have been seeing him practicing yoga. And
Mm-hmm.
he inculcated that to me. But
Mm-hmm.
I took a long time to realize in my 20s, late 20s, I would say that I realized the importance of yoga when I
Mm-hmm.
experimented that myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. And when I started earlier, I started for myself. But when I started doing it for others, and I have seen the differences, the transformations in the people's life
Mm-hmm.
that made to me do much more. So that's why I'm doing yoga.
Mm-hmm. 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 And when did you started it late your 20s or 30s? When exactly?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Very late. I mean, I have been practicing a little bit, but not very on regular basis. Wasn't part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But it was COVID that made me realize that okay, so this is the importance of yoga, and it at first it healed me.
Mm-hmm.
So that transformation brought me so far.
Mm-hmm.
I First of all, I changed myself. I have seen and witnessed the change in me. And then I started teaching others. And when
Mm-hmm.
I myself saw all those changes in their lives,
Mm-hmm.
I decided, okay, this is the thing I'm going to do all my life. That's what I'm following now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how many people you are teaching actually, basically?
So that depends. I mean, if you see, like I go for corporate sessions also.
Mm-hmm.
So there are few people during their work hour they're connected, but it is very hard to keep their track because through one simple device nowadays, the screen sharing thing is there. Like 4 or 5 people join together in corporate yoga from the
Mm-hmm.
same place. So like it's very hard to tell them how many of them that are there. But in
Mm-hmm.
my during my regular classes, it's like 20 to 30.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the batch is like every batch I make sure it is not more than 15, the
Mm-hmm.
regular batch that I and there are people who are connected with me ever since I started. It's been good 3 years. Some have opted out for the lifetime packages. Some
Mm-hmm.
joins from Singapore, Netherlands, Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just the not I would say that it's not the quantity, it's the quality also that matters. I mean, the same
Mm-hmm.
set of people, those who were in the beginning very apprehensive and nervous about starting, they have
Mm-hmm.
been doing it. Not
Mm-hmm.
only doing it, they are out for all those various packages that yearly that I introduce, or maybe the lifetime packages they are going for.
Mm-hmm.
So
So this is how you got into yoga, and also you've been doing some beauty things. This is when I was, I'm not wrong. You were doing some beauty stuffs and things like that. What was that? Beauty context or.
So I do believe that learning never stops. I shouldn't be stopping, and one should upskill themselves. So I got the opportunity to participate in a local pageant a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I would say like good a decade old now.
Mm-hmm.
So I participated. I won. That gave me confidence to go further, and then I participated in various pageants. I would say, and
Mm-hmm.
then I qualified for the one international pageant, Mrs. Tierra also. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, that was not I was looking for in long run. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I landed up with yoga, I would say. But yeah, fitness thing came into my mind that one should always be fit and healthy. From that's what
Mm-hmm.
I learned from my beauty pageants
Mm-hmm.
and overcoming the stage fear.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what I also learned from that beauty pageant. That helped me.
Is there any interesting stories which has been happened while you were doing the beauty contest or something? Is there anything interesting which you would love to share? Like, this is how I could have done a little bit better, or this is what I went to, and this is what it is exactly happened there, and this is how it goes on there. Anything that sort which you would love to share to others, like.
Okay, so there are various such stories that can be shared, but I would
Mhm.
start with the very first experience of mine, which was very interesting, I would say.
Mhm.
That one fine morning, I was like, I had to take care of two children. My
Mhm.
husband
Mhm.
is in
Yeah.
such kind of job.
You've been participating in the beauty contest with your family, actually, when you're having
Yeah, yeah,
family
of
or
course.
before the
That is
family.
all like Mrs. Yeah, yeah.
Before having family
So
or
I,
after having family?
okay, after having two children, one just
Yeah, after having two
so
children.
my
So
younger one,
yeah.
yeah, after having two children, two girls, and a good 10 years of my marriage, I
Mm-hmm.
started this journey, which was totally new for me,
Mm-hmm.
because I belong to a very small town, Jharkhand,
Mm-hmm.
and there we were more focused on studies and all, and something like beauty pageant was a big thing, and something that society wouldn't have approved at those years, a good
Mm-hmm.
20 years. So I never thought of trying any beauty pageant or stepping into such industry.
Mm-hmm.
One fine morning when I had my second child, and I was, that upbringing a child is a big task. It's not a cupcake. I
Mm-hmm.
was very tired and exhausted by, raising these two kids and facing a lot of challenges. Nowadays, people are talking about this thing, the postpartum uh, depression and all. But
Mm-hmm.
those days, I mean, when good 11 years ago, people were not much aware of all this. But I was not into very good state, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not doing very well. And one fine day, I saw that banner somewhere in my locality.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? My elder one was just leaving for the school. She left,
Mm-hmm.
and the younger one was sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
I just told my maid for the
Mm-hmm.
first time, just take
Mm-hmm.
care of her. I'm coming back.
Mm-hmm.
The place where audition was scheduled, I just went straight there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I inquired,
Mm-hmm.
and I just participated without any second thought. Then I
Mm-hmm.
called my husband,
Mm-hmm.
and he thought it's just the regular stuff that she's calling, and then I said, I'm participating in a beauty pageant. He said,
Mm-hmm.
what? How? I said, I
Mm-hmm.
have no idea how.
Mm-hmm.
What? I'll give you the details later. Today is the final audition and I am participating.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
without any, on very same day, about 10 a.m., I just filled this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and about 2 p.m. it was there. I was the last one to go there to the venue to
Mm-hmm.
participate in.
Mm-hmm.
So when they introduce such pageants,
Mm-hmm.
they teach, they give their kind of demo, like this is how you are supposed to do the
Mm-hmm.
catwalk or something. This would be
Mm-hmm.
your introduction round. It
Mm-hmm.
was all over because
Mm-hmm.
I was the last contestant over
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
I just went there. I never wore high heels and the pencil hill,
Mm-hmm.
anything of that sort, but it was my confidence. I just walked in,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then they asked me,
Mm-hmm.
one of the jury member asked me, so
Mm-hmm.
how do you consider yourself just one of the contested, or can you ever win?
Mm-hmm.
Just, I mean, just walking in casually like this, the way you walked, and it was too manly, but
Mm-hmm.
it was masculine rather.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
said, I see every opportunity as a door of learning, and I think that you people will teach me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That day, I had no idea that I'll win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And after 2 days of grooming, it was really, I gave the very hard competition for the jury. It was very tough to,
Mm-hmm.
crown one beauty. And
Mm-hmm.
I came out as one of the first runner up in that contest.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, there are many such stories that a person
Mm-hmm.
like me
Mm-hmm.
ended
Mm-hmm.
up not only to participate, just but to win also. So there are various
Mm-hmm.
such stories, interesting ones, of course.
I mean, we've been talking about the beauty context which you have gone through, and how did you approach it that? So, when you spoken this and you got a recognition or respect over there, how do the people those are uh, dear to you is being responded? For example, your family, your friends, and
Yeah. most of them were happy about it. They were proud.
Mm-hmm.
And see, as I said, their place where I belong, and the friends and the family, they have never uh, imagined myself in such a
Mm-hmm.
field doing
Mm-hmm.
or achieving something like that. For them, it was, I mean, a nice surprise. Most of them were supportive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And do you think the yoga plays a very good role in, all sort of beauty, which is about your body and things like that? Do you think yoga will play a role on that?
I don't think, I do believe, I strongly believe
Mm-hmm.
in this, that
Mm-hmm.
that plays, because you can be beautiful
Mm-hmm.
from your inner within. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not just the look and appearance of someone that you remember for long term. It's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the way that person emit good
Mm-hmm.
energy, good vibes
Mm-hmm.
in the surroundings,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, doesn't matter. The person is how, the physical attributes and good looks. I mean, it impress a
Mm-hmm.
person for, it's a very short term thing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but it's a real personality that
Mm-hmm.
works in the long term. And when you do yoga,
Mm-hmm.
you tend to become beautiful from your inner within. There are more positivity
Mm-hmm.
within you. You
Mm-hmm.
emit good energy around
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's the real beauty. And yoga works,
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do believe, the outside beauty of the person is also important because everybody don't have an X-ray eye. You understand what I mean? Like, X-ray eye mean everybody cannot scan what is happening inside or anything that so. People could actually see the outside beauty very easily, and the feel of that particular energy also very resonating in that particular time of appearance. For example, the yoga can actually increase the increase the look and feel of a particular person. This is what you are saying also. I do have an belief in that, and I mean, I also believe in that way. So you are also agreeing with this thing, right?
Yeah, I do agree that what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
that it's your personality, your look that makes a good impression on others. And this is the something like the first impression is the last impression. That's what you see. You
Mm-hmm.
say,
Mm-hmm.
okay. But long-lasting impression is not about just the look. That's what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
inner beauty also
Mm-hmm.
matters,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what is more important. That
Mm-hmm.
keeps, that leaves you the lasting impression.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a very gorgeous lady
Mm-hmm.
is rude to you. At first, you're so happy to see her, you're very pleased, and when you reach to her and she's very rude towards you,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, how you feel?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yoga is something that transforms you into a beautiful person who has empathy, who
Mm-hmm.
has love, who
Mm-hmm.
has affection for everybody, that
Mm-hmm.
creates instant bond with the people around you. The
Mm-hmm.
positive.
Mm-hmm.
So, you are also into the similar field. I think you believe and
Mm-hmm.
you follow in yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And yoga transforms a person not only just the physically, internally,
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Embracing yoga is a good thing that gives you the inner and outer beauty as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
inner beauty is also important. In fact, inner beauty is more important than the outer beauty,
Mm-hmm.
right?
So the you are saying some of your yoga practices was help you to get better in the beauty contest, basically. So, what kind of yoga postures or what sort of practices has helped you to uh, be beautiful? Because I mean, you might be beautiful, I think so. I mean.
Uh, the thing is, when I was participating in the beauty pageant, I was not religiously following.
Mhm, mhm,
But there I learned that I have to be healthy. There I learned that I have to be fit.
mhm,
So, but participating in such contests
mhm,
adds a lot of stress in your life. Neck
mhm,
to neck competition, the peer
mhm,
pressure. You have to
Mhm.
perform, you have to stand out in the
Mhm.
crowd
Mhm.
where you are competing with well-trained people who are into the industry for years and you are totally
Mhm.
newbie.
Mhm.
Okay. That too,
Mhm.
when you are competing, you belong to a very small town and then you're competing with the metro people
Mhm.
and successful people and people from the similar field. It
Mhm.
wasn't easy coping
Mhm.
up with the stress, and parallelly you are managing the home and children also. Though you have a supportive family, but then again everything
Mhm.
comes back to your shoulder.
Mhm. Mhm.
So during those days, I didn't realize that yoga can be of help. I was into strength training.
Mhm. Mhm.
So strength training was good for appearance. It was working for me. But
Mhm. Mhm.
the stress
Mhm.
level was so high. I
Mhm.
had anger issue, and
Mhm.
the bitterness towards the people. Sometimes I used to be harsh.
Mhm. Mhm.
But all those changed when I started practicing yoga
Mhm.
years
Mhm.
later. And during COVID, really religiously, I started following yoga.
Mhm.
That too, I was kind of insomniac, lack of sleep, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there, nothing was working. So I
Mhm.
started yoga, and then I knew it will, immediately give me the relief or the make me
Mhm.
stress free. And slowly, I just
Mhm.
started seeing change in me,
Mhm.
within me. So I
Mhm.
realized that in the beauty pageant, had I been practicing it, it would have been, much of help.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I just failed to recognize the
Mhm.
importance at that time. But I would tell people, please adhere to it, make it part of your regime
Mhm. Mhm.
to be
Mhm.
successful in every walks of your life. It will make
Mhm.
you more efficient. It will
Mhm.
make best out of you. It will take
Mhm.
out the best.
Mhm. Mhm. So what was that the strength training you've been doing while you were doing the while you were appearing on the beauty
It was
pageants?
mainly gym,
Mm-hmm.
the dumbbells, the cardio, those
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm. So where and all, what in the body parts, what kind of stress it can give, and where and all it can give a better look when we are looking into the anatomy of a person. So there are some sort of things which will give an immediate attraction towards the person when it is actually helps in the way to create connection and the bonds between each other or the keep the life going. So when doing the strength training, what all are the parts of the body will be respond to that faster, and where and all you feel the anatomy has to be better in order to work in the law of attraction, where we are trying to sort out things in the way their attraction works, because it will give a push in the life basically, like if the anatomy is looking better or if the connection is much better, we can get done things very fast, and the things will be much more smoother and better in that particular scenario. So while doing the strength training, what all are the parts do you feel like had a greater effect, and what all was the trade-off towards that? Like what you lost while you doing the strength training, and what you gained while you doing the strength training.
Okay. So, okay. Number one, I gained confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I gained confidence. So let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about what I gained.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very simple science
Mm-hmm.
when you go for the strength training.
Mm-hmm.
So muscles are more important in your body, not
Mm-hmm.
just the fat. Fat is also important. Everything in a anatomy, everything matters. But
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
you grow older, there are
Mm-hmm.
more fat in your body and less muscles are there.
Mm-hmm.
Muscles are not getting produced.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, weight training, strength training are being introduced. So
Mm-hmm.
when you lift weight, some of your muscles get torn away. And
Mm-hmm.
then the body tend to produce new muscles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what is working in a strength training for us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it
Mm-hmm.
is also very, very important part of our life. During my yoga sessions, also I introduced like I recently introduced
Mm-hmm.
twice a week weights
Mm-hmm.
for the women,
Mm-hmm.
especially After 30s and
The
40s,
shall I
most
can I pursue there? Like, the anatomical view of men is actually too much different from how a woman should
the
look like
women.
in the outer body. So, like when it is when we are talking about the muscles, it is mostly related to the men. Men is tend to build the muscles more than that of a women do, right? Like, so in that thing, as you are a woman, what you felt about in the strength training, basically.
So, like you rightly said, that anatomy is different,
Mm-hmm,
male and female.
mm-hmm,
These two anatomy is very, very different. So,
mm-hmm,
I would say that it's my experience that I have seen that push-ups, that the
mm-hmm,
upper body, the strength is
mm-hmm,
more there in the male body. So they
mm-hmm,
can do easily push-ups, but not the women. And
mm-hmm,
same thing goes for the splits. The split, the Hanuman Dandasana that we call Hanuman
mm-hmm,
Asana.
mm-hmm,
When we do split for
mm-hmm,
women, it is much easier than the.
mm-hmm,
So the anatomy varies. What
mm-hmm.
you're trying to say that more male should go for the strength training than the
I'm
females.
not trying to
It's not
say
that.
that. I'm not trying to say that. Like, I'm trying to see when we are doing the how do you felt about the strength training? What all are the things you try to build up, and how does it help you in the life? Basically, how the shape of you. Basically, how does it help you? How did you got into a certain shape? Did it help you to get into a certain shape? And did it
Yeah,
help
yeah,
you
yeah.
to lost a certain shape? And if it is helped you to get into a certain shape, what was the certain shape that you've been looking into? This in this particular shape, I would be looking better. And what was your thinking? And how did you be able to um, achieve that thing through the shape training? I mean, the strength training. How does it happen?
Yeah, exactly. So when I started the strength training, physical attributes in beauty pageants matters a lot. You know
Mhm,
that. Okay. So our body goes through a lot of changes post
mhm,
delivery.
mhm,
So I had two kids by then, and the
mhm,
younger one was barely 2 years old. So I
mhm,
was not in shape. The
mhm,
local pageant I won because competition was not such
mhm,
uh, where you have to be in certain parameters, the confidence that matters, the stage presence matters.
mhm,
But later on, when I participated and I qualified for the international ones, then
mhm,
the physical attribute was something that was very, very
mhm,
important. So
mhm,
I had to be in shape,
mhm,
and the inch loss.
mhm,
No, we were told the particular BMI to be achieved, and
mhm,
the inch loss was important. That
mhm,
I achieved that strength training that really
mhm,
helped.
mhm,
And then diet also is very important. It plays a
mhm,
very crucial role.
mhm,
Without diet, you
mhm,
cannot achieve your goals.
mhm,
Rather, I would say it's not wrong to say that 70% of the diet and 30% of workout works for
mhm,
us.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm, mhm,
So together, I mean, it helped me to achieve my goal that the BMI that I was supposed to
mhm.
reach, I reached,
What was
and
that?
the inch
BMI?
loss,
What was that?
the body mass index.
What is that? Can you
So,
explain that?
actually, it's a very, I mean, scientific, but people misunderstands that
Mhm, mhm,
because when you are young, the
mhm,
BMI varies.
mhm,
Usually, if you ask a layman, then
mhm,
he would say, or he or she would say, like, if I am 5.4, like 5 feet and 4 inches and something, I
mhm,
mean, then I should be 54, and maybe if you add like 5 kg, that is
mhm,
acceptable.
mhm,
But it is very different than that.
mhm,
It depends on your age, the
mhm,
number of children you have. As you grow
mhm,
older, that
mhm,
BMI varies.
mhm,
So, whenever it is said that, okay, if you are 5 feet 4 inches tall, your BMI should be 54 to
mhm,
59. That is okay,
mhm,
acceptable for certain age group,
mhm, mhm,
and depending on whether you're single or married or you have children or not,
mhm,
but
mhm,
not always.
mhm,
So
mhm,
you have to be scientific about it. The bone
mhm,
density, the fat, and
mhm,
the muscle weight. So
mhm,
that an ordinary machine or wing machine cannot
mhm,
do. So you
mhm,
have to go and consult the expert and go on that particular machine that measures things correctly. and
Mm-hmm.
you should take my expert advice.
Mm-hmm. 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 So, when you are switching to the yoga, you came from the strength training to the yoga. So, in the strength training, you've been focusing on some certain parts, and while switching to the yoga, you've been focusing on some certain parts. And how do you see what all are the parts you've been focusing on? Where and all you want to see a growth when you are doing the strength training, and when you are doing the yoga training, what are they?
The thing is, when you go for the strength training, it is not the particular body part that you focus on. So,
Mm-hmm.
like every day, 5 days a week, if you're going, you are focusing one part or each day. Like
Mm-hmm.
one is a leg day, where
Mm-hmm.
you focus on your lower body and
Mm-hmm.
you do deadlifts. When you go for the upper body, then you go for the back. Then
Mm-hmm.
some days are totally meant for the crunches and your abs and all. So we
Mm-hmm.
focus on different various part of the body, and
Mm-hmm.
at the end, we used to do the stretching, where yoga is involved. And then
Mm-hmm.
whenever there is stretching, yoga is involved. So
Mm-hmm.
my the trainer used to tell me, the personal trainer used to tell me, ma'am, you're very flexible.
Mm-hmm.
So most of my clients feel to, touch the toe and doing Paschimottanasana and that forward bending thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you are
Mm-hmm.
doing it very easily. So
Mm-hmm.
I knew because yoga is there somewhere
Mm-hmm.
within me from a very
Mm-hmm.
long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, yeah, yeah, I'm flexible. I know I can do some more asanas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I switched to yoga, because during COVID the gyms were closed,
Mm-hmm.
I started doing, and that the sleep disorder thing got fixed first thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then that helped me to do better. I mean, learn new asana. Then I got trained through
Mm-hmm.
Universal Yoga Alliances. I
Mm-hmm.
thought better why not to go for the training instead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that I will have better clarity, better
Mm-hmm.
understanding of all that. In
Mm-hmm.
yoga, it is not just about the physical. It is about embracing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something you not achieve in a day or understand in a day. Through
Mm-hmm.
practice, you understand, okay, it is not just about your physical appearance. In the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, everybody starts with the asanas,
Mm-hmm.
learning asanas focusing on, okay, so this will work on my body. I'll get slimmer. I will look beautiful. My skin will glow or something like that. But later
Mm-hmm.
on, you realize, okay, my level is also come down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have better vision, better clarity. I have no negative emotions. I'm not as stressed as I used to be. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sharper than I used to be. Like
Mm-hmm.
I absent-minded. I used to be very absent-minded after my two children. I used to forget things easily.
Mm-hmm.
So slowly, I just saw all those changes in me. And
Mm-hmm.
in yoga also, yoga is something that focuses on each and every tiny, tiny muscles, which even strength training fails to.
Mhm, mhm,
I mean,
mhm,
they target the larger muscle group of the body, but in yoga, we target each and every muscle group. I have various clients. One of my
mhm,
client is a gynecologist. So she
mhm,
said, I just theoretically, I knew that these many muscles are available in the body, but when I do yoga with you, I understand, okay, where they are exactly
mhm,
located.
mhm,
This is what yoga is about. It
mhm,
focuses on each and every muscle, then your mind, then your body, then when you do mindfulness and breathing with it,
mhm.
it prepares you for all the battles and challenges.
So we've been talking about the shape, like, when the anatomical appearance of a person can be changed, when he or she is been doing the gym, or the strength training, or he or she is been doing the yoga training. So we can actually see you actually has a very good shape by looking into your pages or something like that. We can actually see. Did you did any sort of experiment on you, like in the terms of strength training or in the terms of yoga training, that could actually give you a certain kind of appearance? By consciously, have you did any sort of experiment on that?
I wouldn't say that any of that I have done, but I have learned something from my own experiences. It's very important to understand your body. Like I have never been into sports or something as a child. So there is something called muscle memory. Those children, why it is said that you should take up the sports at a very early age, that your body gets used to all those exercises and muscle goes into tear wala movement. and you become physically fit, and that muscle has always that memory. Whenever you get back to, when even if you stops and after years you start doing again the physical activity, your body gets that's in the mode of sports or physical activity. But those who have never done it before, for them it is a bit challenge. Like people like us who have never done the strength training or running or were never into sports and all, for me, it was really challenging. I mean, I used to get fever. The muscle gets into tearing mode when I used to do the strength training. Everybody goes, a lot of pain I used to face. And I learned to understand my body, what is working for me, what is not working. And I just tried to stick to the simple rule that I go slow and steady, but I will be regular, I will follow religiously. And I realized one thing that it's not just the strength training that one should do, it's not just the yoga one should do, not the cardio and diet. You have to follow all four or five of them.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
Then only the transformation, the evident transformation comes in.
mhm, mhm,
So when you go for the strength training, stretching is important. It helps
mhm,
you to get rid of injuries.
mhm,
So if you are doing yoga and strength training together, it will help. When you include diet into it, you will be, in the mode of losing weight. You if you eat mindful. When you add mindfulness into it, okay, so you will be less stressed.
mhm,
And at the end, cardio is the most important thing that you should do like twice or thrice a week. It
mhm,
helps you to get rid of diabetes and all sorts of disease.
mhm,
So all together, you have to work on yourself. All four and five of the things that you should follow.
mhm,
It's not just the yoga or strength training or just the mindfulness. All
mhm,
five things
mhm,
have to be in place.
mhm. You've been talking about some days for legs, some days for the abdomen, some days for the hips, some days for the something else or neck or something that sort, some sort of exercises, that thing. So, can you tell me what kind of yoga practices are there for each parts of the body? For example, some people's the appearance will be the way they think the appearance is suitable will be in this particular way, because some people will think the long neck is actually the beauty. Somebody will think the better hips is the beauty. Somebody will think the abdomen, if it looks like in some certain way, that would be the beauty. So when in this scenario, like a certain kind of yoga can grow your neck, or some certain kind of yoga can make your breast look a bit better, or some certain kind of yoga can make your hips look a bit better. What do you suggest, or what do you think of in that particular direction?
Yeah. So first of all, as a mature person, I would advise just try to learn to love yourself the way you are born. Being fit is the luxury that not everyone can afford. You are being fit and healthy, no matter how your appearance is. And if you are unhealthy, if you are in trouble, if you are in pain, joint pain, some sort of disease, so nothing matters. I mean, how you look. So first of all, you have to be happy and healthy with what you have. Secondly,
Mhm,
so there are people who are very specific. Okay, I need no long neck. At tender age, some differences can be made when it comes to the height.
mhm,
Tadasana and some asanas can help to, increase the height. Some neck movement can help you to get some kind of neck, but not a drastic change, a
mhm,
few centimeter or inches here. Because
mhm,
if you are genetically meant to be 5.4, with
mhm,
yoga you can achieve 5.6 or
mhm,
7, but not
mhm,
beyond
mhm,
that.
mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
so you have to respect that.
So
Okay, so if your
what is
ancestral
the name of that particular asana, and how do somebody want to perform? How
increase the
can
height, yeah, to increase the height, it would be Tadasana,
Mhm,
Vrikshasana. Such
mhm,
asana will help you to, be in a line with your body and
mhm.
balance. There are various benefits of one single asana.
So
So every day
how
a
do
new,
somebody perform a Tadasana? Imagine that somebody is listening to this particular podcast, is basically he or she is a blind. And how can you explain that word by word? How can they perform this particular asana, Tadasana, for example?
So for Tadasana, interlace your finger
Mm-hmm.
and stretch it outward.
Mm-hmm.
Then place it above your crown.
Mm-hmm.
Stretch your arms out. Take it as high as you can
Mm-hmm.
and drop it down. Inhale, raise it, and exhale, put it down. And while doing this, remember to bring your feet closer
Mm-hmm.
and while stretching your arms, slowly lift your heels up high.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So inhale, raise your hand,
Mm-hmm.
simultaneously raise your lefts
Mm-hmm.
and then heels, lift your heels and then stay there for a few seconds after inhaling, exhale and drop it. Repeat it for a few times, then try
Mm-hmm.
to hold it for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and so. So this
Mm-hmm.
was Tadasana.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
a
This
simple,
the
can
result of
explain
this is to get long neck, right? Like, you know.
not only to the long neck, but to the increase the height. If you start
Uh-huh.
at tender age, if you
Mm-hmm.
are into teen, below
Mm-hmm.
poverty, if you
Mm-hmm.
start, that will help. And that will help, when you look straight and you then slowly when you make slow neck movement, that will also help. That too at
Mm-hmm.
tender age, not after when
Mm-hmm.
you are 20s and fully grown, then there
Mm-hmm.
won't be any significant change in your body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Scientifically also, you have to go under surgery and see this. So there is no natural procedure.
Mm-hmm.
For hips, uh, Malasan. Malasan is something that everybody should do. There are various, it controls the hormones. Hormones are
Mm-hmm.
something. If your
Mm-hmm.
hormones are very well regulated, that works everywhere in your skin color, your hair,
Mm-hmm.
your
Mm-hmm.
skin disease. Everything can be fixed with the hormones. All your
Mm-hmm.
diseases triggered through the hormones. So
Mm-hmm.
Malasan is one such person which help to regulate the hormones, most of the hormones. So when you
Mm-hmm.
do that, you will be in shape. The hips will be,
How
supple,
do
nice.
somebody can perform that? Can you explain? And one more thing, I just want to make you to I mean, I want to know that whether the doing the yogasans without the help of a proper guide can have a negative effect or not, like, you know, what you think about in that particular.
Yoga is something only proper, certified trainer and coaches.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you are not trained enough, you should not do it on available resources you have.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of resources nowadays. Everywhere
Mm-hmm.
something is available. The moment you press the button of your phone,
Mm-hmm.
Lama will guide you, and
Mm-hmm.
then Della and ChatGPT is always there to rescue, and then the YouTube have a lot of resources. But that is
Mm-hmm.
like mindless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I won't say anyone to go and follow all those.
Mm-hmm.
They should always opt for a certified,
Mm-hmm.
experienced teacher.
Mm-hmm.
They should
Mm-hmm.
go back and check their, clientele list,
Mm-hmm.
and then only after trial they should go for that. So
Mm-hmm.
only a well-learned person guide you the best.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's just like, medicine can have the,
Mm-hmm.
bad impact if you're going through, wrong medicines or wrong
Mm-hmm.
therapy. The similar
Mm-hmm.
thing is with yoga also.
Mm-hmm.
Yoga is also a part of therapy. So this is how. And the second
So
question was to
we
how
were
to do.
talking about the malasan. How someone can perform it, like, you know.
So Malasan is something with, uh, again, before we get into demonstration and all,
Mm-hmm.
Malasan is something that, ancient Indian were very smart people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we had the Indian way of toilets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we used to do squats, the
Mm-hmm.
Indian style toilets.
Mm-hmm.
So few like 30, 40, or maybe 50 years ago in India, it
Mm-hmm.
was common in Indian houses. So
Mm-hmm.
even our grandparents used to go, even our
Mm-hmm.
parents used to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have seen that in recent years that
Mm-hmm.
hormonal imbalances, the uterus
Mm-hmm.
related, the prostate related issues have increased.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
fertility issue has increased.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be fixed with that one particular asana,
Mm-hmm.
that posture used to, it
Mm-hmm.
helps to improve our digestive system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was the beauty of that malasana.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Indian ladies, they used to do the mopping at home, and then they used to do the squats thing. You remember? Then
Mm-hmm.
so dadi or nani, the grandmothers, they didn't had to go to the surgeries
Mhm.
nowadays, which is very common.
Mhm.
They didn't have troubles or
Mhm.
physical element that we people have of this
Mhm.
generation.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that was the beauty. So we
Mhm.
are just forgetting our long lost wisdom is that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now coming back to the Malasan,
Mhm.
most of the people fail to do it at
Mhm.
first.
Mhm. Mhm.
They need to, their muscles are so stiff that they are not used to any kind of
Mhm.
squats and sitting down. So it
Mhm.
takes a long time. So
Mhm.
we start with the normal squats in which
Mhm.
uh, legs are apart, then you bend your knees, slowly go down, down,
Mhm.
down, down, down.
Mhm.
And once your body start through the practice of a week or,
Mhm.
so your
Mhm.
body responds well, then we tell
Mhm.
people to, okay, toes are
Mhm.
out, then
Mhm.
go down, 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 like seated. Imagine there is a chair behind you, you are
Mhm.
sitting down on it. And
Mhm.
once you are okay, comfortable there, then hold for 10 seconds, then go
Mhm.
lower, 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 as
Mhm.
long as you can. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So one such practice that can be followed,
Mhm. Mhm.
or to the seated position also it can be achieved. Sit
Mhm.
cross leg from
Mhm.
Padmasana
Mhm.
or Vajrasana, then
Mhm.
feet down. The
Mhm.
deep wide hips. Like
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
go for the chair, imagine yourself in the chair, and from there you are going down, down, or hip is going as low as it
Mhm.
can be.
Mhm.
This is the position that you have to achieve.
Mhm. Mhm. And related to other things, like, for example, the strength and the length of hands or legs, is there any other asanas which is helps into that? Like, the malasana is for the, you are saying that it is for the hips.
Thighs,
Yeah.
glutes.
Is there
Mm.
any other
So
asanas for the, you
that
know?
is again, I would say that is again. So if you start at tender age,
Mm-hmm,
so the Mutasana, raising the hand, touching
mm-hmm,
down,
mm-hmm,
then Surya Namaskar is an excellent way to,
mm-hmm,
achieve the best out of you. The best
mm-hmm,
attributes can be attained through
mm-hmm,
the healing.
mm-hmm,
Everything will be proper in the place. The hip, the
mm-hmm,
thighs, the
mm-hmm,
abs,
mm-hmm,
your hands,
mm-hmm,
everything.
mm-hmm,
And Tadasana is again is going to work on your, extending the hand, the
mm-hmm,
length of the hand,
mm-hmm,
the neck, and everything all together
mm-hmm,
can be achieved through that Tadasana,
mm-hmm,
which we discussed.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So
Hmm.
anything
Then,
to, what was
yeah,
that? What
please.
was that? You were
And again, then lifting the things that the children area playing and
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
stretching their arms out, the pull-ups, the pull-up
mm-hmm,
bars, that always helps.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Is there anything that helps to get a better shape of breast or the things like that? Any asanas which helps the shape of the breast, and how does it?
Weights work, the dumbbells works the best
No,
when
no,
it comes to the,
breast I am talking about.
yeah, yeah. So the dumbbells, the flying dips, that
Mm-hmm,
works the best for the
mm-hmm,
breast.
mm-hmm.
Then triceps dips. That these
No,
things
I'm
are
when we are talking about the yoga, is there anything that is equivalent to this particular thing is
Yeah. So
existing?
there are various such asana which is targeting that breast area.
Mm-hmm,
Every time when do, first of all, it is Surya Namaskar that
mm-hmm,
that targets most of the muscle group.
mm-hmm,
Then the Ustrasana, the camel pose,
mm-hmm,
when you lift your chest out, open
mm-hmm,
up,
mm-hmm,
that is also there.
mm-hmm,
So and then all such stretching when you get into the Tadasana and then
mm-hmm,
releasing the finger, outward
mm-hmm.
and putting down your head and stretching the arms up, lifting arms up. So
Mm-hmm.
all such asanas are
Mm-hmm,
there.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Is there anything particularly designed for that particular to get into a better shape over there? Anything that sort is there?
Uh, yeah, so that would be chakrasana, which is hard to achieve for many people again. So
Mm-hmm,
through the practice, you have to get into wheel pose. So
mm-hmm,
that will work your stomach and your back and your breast all together on your chest, your
mm-hmm,
hands, your
mm-hmm.
arms, eyes.
How
It's
to perform the chakrasana basically?
but now I cannot demonstrate you that on here.
Yeah, yeah,
So
you can explain in the words, like, the
but
like.
chakrasana,
Mhm.
yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, can you elaborate that verbally? Like, just imagine somebody who is actually blind, who is actually listening to this particular discussion which we are having, and how do you explain it to a blind person? Like,
Okay. So, for one such person, lie down on the floor on your back.
Mm-hmm.
So, back is firmly on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Then fold your legs,
Mm-hmm.
feet firmly grounded on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly lift your hips and waist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Inhale up, 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 go as high as you can. Then drop it down. So try it for a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Then your palms, spread out your fingers
Mm-hmm.
and place your palm down.
Mm-hmm.
Placing your finger inward,
Mm-hmm.
palms down,
Mm-hmm.
next to your
Mm-hmm.
neck or next to your ear where
Mm-hmm.
you're lying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now slowly try to lift your upper body,
Mm-hmm.
below your chest area and your stomach and then the back of the hip all together.
Mm-hmm.
So the pressure has to be felt on the feet,
Mm-hmm.
arms,
Mm-hmm.
and your back should be strong enough to support this.
Mm-hmm.
In one go, it is impossible to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Through practice, it can be achieved.
Mm-hmm.
So, one such practice is the first one that I described, I narrated,
Mm-hmm.
just lifting up the hip. And slowly, you will achieve this one, which is known as wheel pose or chakras.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm.
Do you want me to elaborate further?
No, no, it's yeah, it's
If you
I
want
think what was
to give
that?
it a try, I can demonstrate.
What
If
was
you want to give it a try, I can demonstrate that to you again.
uh, so yeah, is there any other asanas which you would prefer to share with the listeners something?
Um, any other asana,
Mhm.
uh, like how? I mean,
Like
something meditative
something
or
like for example, the particular asana for eyesight. Is there any exercise that can help to increase the eyesight or the smell or the ability to touch? So as we grow our senses in some certain way, this will actually give the ability to experience life in a much better way. So, do you have any asanas in that particular direction?
okay, so there is a particular pranayama which activates
Mhm.
our sense organ especially, which is
Mhm.
known as Brahmari.
Mhm.
Brahmari is something that activates your sense organ.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so for Brahmari, what you're supposed to do, you have to close your eyes, three
Mhm.
fingers together. These,
Mhm.
okay, the little and the next one and the next one. Join these three
Mhm.
and close your eyes and place it above the eyes. The fourth
Mhm.
one goes above the eyebrow. This one.
Mhm. Mhm.
Then press the earlobes with the thumb.
Mhm.
And the breathing pattern is deep inhale.
Mhm.
And instead of exhaling, press the lips and make sound like honeybee
Mhm.
buzzes.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
pranayama is very effective. This can be
Mhm.
repeatedly done 5 and 20 times a day.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So it works on all five sense organs
Mhm.
amazingly. It
Mhm.
helps you to get rid of your migraine problems, stress,
Mhm. Mhm.
improves the sleep pattern.
Mhm.
So there are various, every asana, every pranayama have a number of a list of benefits. So that
Mhm.
science is still exploring and researchers are still wondering
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
okay, this asana
Mhm.
is working on this and this also, oh, wow,
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
is the beauty of it.
Mhm. Mhm. Is there anything you want to share to listeners? For example, something which they can practice every day that can instantly transform their life into something better, or some small tips that you could share with the people who are actually listening. Is there anything that's like, you know?
Yeah, I would advise that everyone should master from the very
Mhm.
beginning, those who are
Mhm.
new into it.
Mhm.
For the Surya Namaskar, once
Mhm.
you learn Surya Namaskar, you know all the asanas in the world, or 12 steps of Surya Namaskar, the basic 12 steps of the Surya Namaskar. And you should do like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, then you can go up
Mhm.
to 108. If not 108, on
Mhm.
regular basis, twice a week, if you can do like 50 or 60. So
Mhm.
this itself will make a good impact on you.
Mhm.
It is
Mhm.
found that it is helpful in dreadful diseases like cancer.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I mean, forget about all those things. It
Mhm.
is that
Mhm.
helpful.
Mhm.
So from
Mhm.
losing weight to looking good, from long
Mhm.
hair, everything is. you
mhm,
can master that one thing. So you can
mhm,
go through my YouTube link, and I have shared that one video, very
mhm,
small video, because people don't have time nowadays to go through the long videos.
mhm,
They can
mhm,
watch it, they can
mhm,
learn it. And few
mhm,
pranayam, like Anulom Vilom always helps. The last one that Ramji I taught always
mhm,
helps. So
mhm,
people
mhm,
should do all.
mhm, mhm. If somebody want to reach out to you in to further up their if they want to connect with you, or if they want to further up their studies, or if they want to work with you, how can they do that? Like, you know.
They can go and check the link in the bio of this video. Maybe
Mhm,
you will share my YouTube link, and there they
mhm.
can go and connect, right?
The website you have, what was the name of the website which you have?
Okay, it's teamanuyog.com.
Mhm,
Team
mhm.
anuyog.com is the
Dot
name of
com.
my
Can you spell it out? TEAM. Is that right? Like,
right.
how do you
Uh,
spell it?
yeah, TEAM, team,
Mhm, mhm,
then ANU,
mhm,
YOGO,
mhm.
teamanuyog.com.
Dot com. If
That's the
somebody
website.
want to study further from Anu on the studies of yoga, that they could connect with her over this particular website, and from there she will guide them. And teaching the yoga, how much you charge, or is there anything chargeable, or is there any donation based proposal is there, or how does it go? Like, what is the fees which you generally charges?
Actually, yeah, I do believe that it should reach out to the masses. There is a very reasonable fee for the ongoing thing is like the festive seasons are on. So
Mhm,
we have this offer at 3,500 rupees for 6 months, which is barely like 600 or 500 a month, in which we cover like 25 sessions.
mhm, mhm,
So, I mean, I do believe that it should reach out to the masses. More and more people should take, get benefit out of it. So that's
mhm,
why
mhm,
it's very reasonable. Anyone can afford it. But most of the people
mhm,
do.
mhm, mhm,
So this is the rate, ongoing rate. Offers are on. So one
mhm,
can enroll. They can go and check my website. They can
mhm,
connect with me over the mail, and I
mhm,
can give them the details and payment. And the first or trial, they can go for like two sessions for free, and
mhm,
then they can pay and
mhm,
enroll
mhm,
themselves.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for joining with me today. Yeah.
Thank you so much.